Hi, everyone. My name is Beth Jensen, and I am thrilled to be teaching the Applications in the Outdoor Products Industry course. Looking forward to meeting you all. Just wanted to provide a bit of an introduction about myself and then a bit of a rundown on how this course will go, some of the key assignments, hopefully answer some questions you may have about the basics of this course. So first, a bit about me. I currently live in Boulder, Colorado, and split time in Salida, Colorado as well. I grew up in Wisconsin, attended my undergrad at St. Olaf College in Minnesota. And then I moved to Boulder in 2004. So I've been here in Colorado for almost 20 years now. And I've had a few really great and fairly long-standing work experiences over the last 20 years. My first role was in the natural products space at a company called Music Matters, which later changes its name to Effect Partners. And that was really an organization that worked to bring the concept of natural and organic food to markets all over the country. And this was in sort of the earlier or nascent days of particularly, the organic food movement. Then I went and got my MBA at the University of Colorado Boulder Leeds School of Business, and I focused on sustainability and entrepreneurship in that degree. While I was a student there in the grad program at CU Boulder, I ended up starting to work with Outdoor Industry Association. And OIA is the trade association for the outdoor product sector. As we go through this course, you'll see many resources that have been produced by OIA. And I really had the fortunate opportunity to be their first full-time employee in sustainability at OIA. So really was able to build and lead the sustainability program at OIA, really serving the outdoor industry brands, retailers, suppliers, and other stakeholders in their sustainability needs and their efforts to build sustainability programs within their brands, as well as then basically serving a role to convene the industry around shared topics like, what really is the definition of sustainability for us in the outdoor product sector? What is best practice? How do we, align on what that best practice is and collectively, work together to achieve that? And then in late 2018, after almost 10 years at OIA, I took a role at VF Corporation. And VF Corporation is really the parent company for a number of brands that you have heard of: the North Face, Vans, Timberland, Smartwool, Icebreaker, Dickies, JanSport, Eagle Creek, Ultra Running, and a few others. Their headquarters moved from North Carolina to Denver, Colorado, in around 2019, which is why I took the role at that time. And I served as their director of sustainable materials and products. So, serving as the lead on sustainability at Outdoor Industry Association really gave me that sort of bird's eye view of where we were at in terms of sustainability across all of the different companies in the sector. I always knew that I also wanted to get an in-house role at a brand and really understand from the inside how complex these problems are, how to address these issues. And so really welcomed the opportunity to work at VF Corporation. And before I move on to my current role, just to say my partner Bryce and I are real outdoor enthusiasts. I have been since my upbringing in rural central Wisconsin, where I grew up in the middle of the forest and cross country skiing and running out my front door. Fast forward to today, we really try to spend the majority of our free time outside, whether it's backcountry skiing, Nordic skiing for me, trail running, biking. Bryce is also in the bike industry, so we really live and breathe this passion. And as I said, I've just felt so fortunate to be able to have a job in this field, combining my passion with my professional ambitions over the years. So today, I work for Textile Exchange, and I took this role in 2021, I guess it was. And Textile Exchange is an organization I've worked with for a long time, ever since the days at Outdoor Industry Association, where I partnered with Textile Exchange on topics like responsible down and responsible wool, and establishing standards for those issues for the outdoor apparel industry as well as the broader apparel industry. I was on the board of Textile Exchange in my role at VF Corporation and really helped build their latest strategy, and now serve as Textile Exchange's Director of Climate Plus Impact. So Textile Exchange is a global nonprofit organization that's focused on essentially increasing the use of preferred materials across the global apparel and footwear industry. So the organization was started about 20 years ago. It was called Organic Exchange at the time. And basically, it was started as a partnership between Patagonia and Nike, who wanted to increase the use of organic cotton in brands across the industry. And they started to rally together other brands in this effort. And the organization called Organic Exchange was formed. Of course, then over the years, the organization expanded into broader topics beyond organic cotton and beyond just cotton, to look at more preferred forms of materials like polyester. So recycled polyester, for example, or recycled nylon, or again, responsibly sourced animal materials like down and wool. And so these are kind of the key material categories that we work on at Textile Exchange, all of course quite relevant to the outdoor products industry. Yeah, I've really been able to sort of follow the thread of sustainable materials from my initial role at Outdoor Industry Association, then through, within a number of really leading outdoor brands at VF Corporation, and now, continuing that thread through to Textile Exchange, which is really viewed as the sort of industry leader support organization for brands in the industry on sustainable materials. So I'm looking forward to reading all about you all and your backgrounds and experiences, and getting to know you all a little bit more through the first exercise. Okay, so a bit of a description about the course. Obviously, this is examining the outdoor products industry and the steps involved in bringing an outdoor product to market. So what we've really tried to do is highlight here kind of the key considerations when you're thinking about building an outdoor product business, as well as just the outdoor product itself. So just as an overview of some of the focus areas for the course, we're really going to look at understanding the outdoor products consumer, understanding the product development process, looking at product aesthetics and functionality, branding, selling, distribution, what's the role of trade shows today, what are some trends in the outdoor industry that we're seeing. We'll also bring in a bit on sustainability and how to integrate that type of thinking throughout building an outdoor business and product. And then we'll end with career opportunities in the industry. And just a few other notes. So I was working at Outdoor Industry Association when this course was initially developed. And so I remember the previous instructor, Mark Gasta, coming to Outdoor Industry Association and doing some of these interviews that you'll see. So Mark was the previous instructor for this course, and he taught the course up through the spring semester of 2022. So I'm thrilled to now be coming on board to take on the instructor role for this course. And so you'll see a lot of content that he has developed that we're continuing to use in this course. You'll see some additional content that I've added. So just want to provide a bit of context on that and why you'll kind of see some different people and voices appearing in the content. I've particularly made some updates to the content within the sustainability module that you'll see that's a new module that I've updated. I sort of condensed some of the other content that was previously in the course. I really think it's important to bring in a view to both environmental and social responsibility in the industry, as well as just some really leading concepts such as circularity and just the level of production in the apparel industry right now in general, and how that's contributing to environmental and social impact. So hopefully you'll find that interesting as well. That really is one of my top areas of expertise, and I'm happy to bring that a bit more fully into the course. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the intent is really to make this course as practically applicable as possible. So less academic, academic types of articles and more practical reports, different, websites, things that are actually used by the industry today. In general, is really how I like to approach teaching these types of courses. So hopefully you'll find that useful as well. I really want to equip you all with the same resources that we're all using out in the industry today. So the course consists of 8 modules, and you can see them listed here. So first of all, it's really sort of an introduction to the outdoor products industry. Module 2 will focus on identifying the outdoor products consumer. Module 3 will really be a bit more of a deep dive into the product development process. Module 4 will look at outdoor product aesthetics and functionality. Module 5 is looking at marketing and branding and what it means to sort of sell the outdoor lifestyle. Module 6 will look at outdoor product sales channels as well as trends in the industry today. Module 7 is really looking at sustainability in the outdoor industry. And then the final module will focus on careers in the outdoor industry. And the text for this course is the great book, Let My People Go Surfing. I have owned this book for, I guess, about 15 years since it first came out. It was great to have the opportunity to read through this book again. It had been a few years since I had last done so. And, all of the content stands up really over the past 15 years. This edition provides some more updated sort of notes on some of the things that have happened since the original publication in 2006. So really hope that you'll enjoy this book as much as I do. And I think it provides a great sort of blueprint for much of the content that we'll be going through. The book does not perfectly sync up, in terms of content week to week with the modules. So what we've tried to do is align this as much as possible. But just bear that in mind. You can also just read the book from start to finish. That'll work great as well. You can kind of see where some of the sections do line up pretty closely with our modules, but overall, it's just a great read and just a really sort of foundational text for our industry. There, of course, will be many other readings within each module that you'll be doing that will provide some context on each of these topics. So course presentation and procedures. This course is presented fully online and asynchronous, of course, using the Canvas learning environment. It's organized into 8 weekly modules, and each module is divided into several parts or topics, plus industry interviews. And this structure is really intended to make the content easier to absorb within each module. So instead of dumping all of the content on you in one module for each week, we've really tried to separate out into some different topics and parts so you can more easily digest it. Within each part, there are readings, interactive materials, articles, reports, and then one assignment for each module. And modules and parts should be completed in sequential order. So we've really designed this course to be stepped through in the order that it is structured in Canvas. So recommend that you stick with that structure versus bouncing around, just kind of walk through it as it's presented. Participation expectations. This is a 2-credit course taught over an 8-week period. We've tried to provide a bit of an estimate here of how long we think it will take you to complete each module, do all of the prep work and assignments In general, and this is just a rough estimate, this may vary week over week, but in general, we'd anticipate about 3 hours per week on the readings, 2 hours per week on the video presentations, and then 3 hours per week on discussion forums and assignments. The discussion forum part might be slightly less, and the readings or video presentations might be slightly more some weeks, particularly those weeks where it's just a discussion versus an application assignment. We'll talk about all of this in a moment. But just in terms of a general estimate, wanted to give you a sense of what to expect. So a bit more about the assignments that I just mentioned. There are 4 categories of assignments. The first will be the student introduction assignment, discussion exercises, application assignments, and then of course the readings. So first we'll talk about the discussion exercises. The discussion exercises are assigned in most modules. The weekly discussion post and 2 comments are worth 30 points per module for a total of 150 points for the course. So there are more instructions about this. This is all written out in your syllabus as well, your syllabus and your course overview. But basically, after you've completed working through all of the materials in each module, where there's a discussion exercise assigned, we ask that you complete a reflective post in response to the specific question that's provided. So the idea here is to bring in elements from the materials you've reviewed in each module to illustrate your discussion. Aim here is for these to be around 300 to 350 words. This is not a hard and fast rule, I would say, and I would try to shoot for this general range. If your posts are significantly less than this or significantly more than this on a regular basis, we'll start to consider point deductions. But generally, this is the guideline is between 300 and 350 words. Cite your sources. So, and just a note on source citations. I put this in the introductory materials on the source citations page, but I just wanted to reiterate this. So where you will need to focus on, formal APA source citations is really in your application assignments. So where you will have a reference page within the PowerPoint decks that you'll be putting together, that is where you'll want to use APA format. Anywhere else in discussion forums or, for footnotes on slides themselves, you can do a much simpler source citation format, which is really just sort of title, name of publication, author, and year. And I have this listed out in the introductory materials, as I mentioned as well. So if you have any questions, let me know about that. But the reality is in the industry that, for some of these simpler topics or simpler deliverables, we don't actually use APA, full APA citation. I think the idea is just make sure the right person in publication get credited for anything that you're presenting on a slide or in a more informal discussion post. So hopefully that helps provide some guidance there. Again, let me know if you have any questions about that. But discussion exercises, where they are due, should be posted to the appropriate Canvas discussion forum on Fridays by midnight Mountain Time. And that's really to enable your classmates to have enough time to review and respond. And then associated with the discussion exercises is also the requirement for at least two comments on your classmates' posts for each discussion exercise. And each of those comments will be worth 7.5 points for a total of 15 points per discussion exercise. And in total, these weekly comments are worth 75 points for the course. So the idea here, again, just to provide a general range, these comments should be around 100 to 150 words. Again, not a hard and fast rule, but if I start seeing folks going significantly over, significantly under, that's when we'll start to consider point deductions. And I'm providing a deadline of Monday, midnight Mountain Time, following the Friday discussion post deadline for these comments. So the idea here is I want to make sure that if you have weekend plans, hopefully you're out recreating on the weekends as much as you can. You'll also have the full day on Monday then to submit your discussion comments. Okay, and then on to the application assignments. So there will also be 2 application assignments as part of this course. These are the more significant assignments that you'll have. Each one of these is worth 100 points for a total of 200 points for the course. These are individual assignments. Just to be clear about that, these should be presented as PowerPoint presentations that would be proposed to potential investors. And there's a lot more information about what will be included in each of these application assignments in your syllabus and course overview, as well as in the specific weeks where these are assigned. So go there for more information about what will be required or expected within these application assignments. Again, cite your sources. And here, as I mentioned earlier, is where we would like to see in a reference page at the back of the deck, true APA citations. Application assignment 1 should be uploaded to Canvas by Friday at the conclusion of week 4. And application assignment 2 should be uploaded to Canvas by Friday at the conclusion of week 7, both at midnight Mountain Time. And a bit of a subtraction of points for late submissions. There will be no assignments in week 8. You may have seen that as you're kind of reviewing the course materials. That's finals week, of course. And so what we'll do is just sort of wrap up on all of the grading from week 7 that week. We'll have some content on career opportunities in the outdoor industry and close out the course that way. And of course, more information about application assignment grading, as well as the discussion exercise grading, is in the grading rubric in the syllabus as well. I also wanted to provide just a bit of information about the student introduction assignment that you'll be doing in week 1 here. So the idea here is, just since we're all online, this is a virtual course, want to make sure we spend some time getting to know one another. So would love to have you introduce yourself to your fellow students. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your experience within the adventure tourism industry? What are some of your personal interests? Why are you taking this course? Would love to hear something interesting about yourself also that's not necessarily related to the course or program. And if you're able, we'd love to see photos of each of you as well. If you could post a photo of yourself, ideally doing something outside, that would be great, just to do a bit of putting a face with a name and be able to interact with one another a bit more easily. This assignment is worth 10 points on the Friday following the first week of class, along with your week 1 regular discussion exercise. And that is all I have in terms of a bit of an overview of how this course will run. Here's my contact information. I think email is probably appropriate for most questions you may have. I've also provided my mobile number here if you have a more urgent question. If you do decide to go that route, I'll just say that texts may receive a faster response from me. I'm often on calls quite back to back during the day. And so I can more easily respond to texts if there's something urgent, and particularly if it's relatively simple or a brief question. So I'm really looking forward to working with you all on this course and learning from you as well. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions for me, and let's get started. Thanks.